In the first century, the Sea of Galilee was the center of daily life and commerce for the local communities. For a commercial fisherman, crossing this water was as routine as walking down the street. But the geography of this region creates a meteorological trap. Cool air from the surrounding hills can rush down into the warm basin of the lake, creating sudden, violent downdrafts that strike the water with the force of a tornado. On one particular evening crossing, the sky blacked out. A routine transit instantly became a fight for survival. Waves began beating relentlessly against the sides of the small wooden ship, pouring over the rails faster than anyone could clear it. The boat was taking on water and on the verge of sinking. These were not amateurs on a pleasure cruise. Many of the disciples were professionals who knew every current of this lake, yet they were overwhelmed by a force they could no longer control. The men are scrambling. They are bailing water, bracing against the wind, and watching the waterline creep higher. They are in the final moments of physical panic. And in the back of the boat, resting on a cushion, Jesus is fast asleep. The sheer terror of the moment finally breaks the disciples. Their reverence for their teacher collapses under the weight of their own imminent death, and they shake him awake. They shout over the wind with the direct accusation, "Master, don't you care if we perish?" It is a profoundly human reaction. When sudden, violent hardship strikes, the default instinct is to fixate entirely on the terrifying circumstances. From that perspective, it is easy to conclude that God is either absent or apathetic to our suffering. When Jesus wakes up, he ignores the buckets. He doesn't grab a rope or start bailing water to save the ship. Instead, he turns his back on the panicked crew and faces the storm itself. He issues an absolute command to the raging elements: "Peace, be still." The response is instantaneous. The wind ceases. The churning water drops into a state of calm. A skilled captain navigates a storm by adapting to the weather. Here, the weather itself is forced to adapt to a command. The laws of nature are being rewritten by a spoken word. This visualization shows the power dynamic at play. All the chaotic energy of the natural elements instantly snaps into a flat line of submission beneath a single supreme authority. Divine authority is proven by commanding the uncontrollable, not merely surviving it. The sea is quiet. Jesus then pivots away from the water and looks back at the trembling men in the boat. He asks them a piercing dual question. Why were you so afraid? How is it that you have no faith? Jesus identifies the actual threat in the scene. The danger was never the water pouring over the sides of the ship, but the doubt and panic inside their own minds. Sharing a boat with the Son of God was their security. In his presence, the extortal leather lost its power to harm them. The disciples' fear of the storm evaporates, but it is immediately replaced by a different kind of fear. They are struck with reverent awe of the man standing in front of them. They look at one another and ask the central question of the narrative: what manner of man is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? This demonstration of authority did not end on the Sea of Galilee. It has served as a survival tool for people facing extreme perils centuries later. During World War II, Captain Eddie Rickenbacker and his crew ditched their plane in the Pacific. They were adrift for 24 days. The crew survived because they turned to these passages for strength, finding hope in a command spoken thousands of years prior. This narrative serves as an active psychological anchor for anyone staring down seemingly insurmountable odds. Following Christ provides no immunity from hardship. These men were caught in the storm while doing exactly what Jesus told them to do. The theologian Samuel Rutherford noted that in these trials, resilient faith is not built on wishful thinking. He wrote that our hope is not hung upon an untwisted thread, like "I imagine so," or "it is likely." Spiritual security comes from the fact that our peace is tightly fastened to the unchangeable nature of God himself. When the waves of life rise, survival does not depend on measuring the severity of the storm. It depends on intentionally anchoring focus on the one who commands it. In the first